Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barakathom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to Yahakim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and I'm going to be reading from an article on ZeroHedge.com titled, Meth is Back with a Vengeance. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that opioid-related deaths are starting to plateau. Officials fear a surge in methamphetamine-related deaths could contribute to the next leg up in the American drug overdose crisis. So not only have Edomites, or so-called white people, been getting addicted to opioids and dying by the hundreds daily from overdoses, but now meth's making a comeback to further ravage through you Edomites' communities, and it's all through the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's time for you Edomites to pay the tab for all the iniquities and wickedness you've committed in the past, not just against the entire planet, but chiefly against the children of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, getting them caught up in the drug game in the past all the way up until today. And from the outline of this person's face, you can tell it's a Edomite. It's them subliminally telling you that this is mainly affecting Esau's communities. There were 1,854 meth-related deaths reported in 2010. By 2017, more than 10,300 deaths were linked to meth and or chemically similar psychostimulants, which is a 550% jump from 2010. Deaths linked to psychostimulants like meth have been on the rise for years, adding to the larger U.S. drug overdose crisis. Got a chart right here. You see it just keeps increasing with each passing year. The DEA, Salakia, this article's acting funny. The DEA told the Journal that their drug tracking system recorded 347,807 law enforcement meth seizures submitted to labs in 2017, a 118% increase from 2010. The recent inflow of meth into the U.S. has made it more affordable and easily accessible, the agency warns. Got another graph right here. Officials say Mexican cartels are shipping more meth than ever into the country, mostly through ports of entry hidden in vehicle compartments. They're flooding it through tunnels, they're flooding it through ports of entry, they're flooding it between ports of entry, said Doug Coleman, special agent in charge of the DEA's Phoenix office. And it's all by design. There's a lot of money to be made in the drug business. And with you Americans being the most drug-addicted people on the planet, it's no-brainer for your own elites to make a profit off of your misery. That just goes to show that the devil doesn't care about his own. And this is the man that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans go to for help. That's why you're going to get what you deserve during Jacob's trouble, not hearkening unto your true power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. New Hampshire is one of the states where meth is becoming more common, said John Delana, second in command at the DEA's New England office. Everybody's biggest fear is what it's going to look like if meth hits us like fentanyl did, he said. People struggling with opioid addictions often use meth, said Silvana Mazzella, Associate Executive Director at Prevention Point Philadelphia, a nonprofit. People are getting exposed to it and coming to it, like it, and need it, said Mazzella, whose group provides harm reduction services from its headquarters in Kensington, the Philadelphia neighborhood known for its long-standing opioid problem. On the West Coast, authorities in San Francisco are not just battling record homelessness, but also an alarming increase in meth overdoses. Without more effective interventions, mentally ill and meth-addicted individuals will continue deteriorating on our sidewalks, in our emergency rooms, and in our jails, City Supervisor Raphael Mandelman said in a press release. Look at these images right here. Edomite, Edomite, Edomite. That might be a Jake hidden in there. But this is starting to look like the ghettos where Jake dwells. you Edomites are returning to your former estate, being the original niggers, criminals, and the faces of drug addiction. And it's a beautiful sight to behold. Meth is also a concern in dying Rust Belt states, more specifically in Akron, Ohio metropolitan area, said Sally Longstreth Fluck, clinical director for Oriana House, a nonprofit that provides substance abuse services for correctional facilities. In 2006, Congress passed the Combat Methamphetamine Epidemic Act to address the out-of-control crisis. In 2018, the Trump administration declared a public health emergency over the opioid epidemic. Now Washington could be back to the drawing board, announcing yet another crisis, the return of meth. From one drug crisis to another, the slow death of the middle class, i.e. Edomites, has been a direct effect of flawed monetary policy and the financialization of the American economy, which has driven wealth inequality to levels never seen before in modern time. As long as the wealth inequality gap remains wide, the drug overdose crisis will only expand. Slovakia. The country is imploding from within. It's because the elites of you Edomites are foreclosing on America. They're sucking up what little they can get left from this country and planning to move towards the east, towards China, and setting up shop there. That's why you're seeing all these retail stores close. You're seeing a bunch of jobs being automated or shipped overseas, and you're seeing that's why the U.S. economy is on the verge of collapse. But first and foremost, it's all through the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to foreclose on the main place of power for you Edomites, which is the United States of America, also biblically known as Babylon the Great. And I'm going to go to my first precept in Isaiah chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh because they're out of a job. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're getting addicted to drugs. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. And you can just tell that the spirit in America now isn't what it used to be. Just especially during the holidays, like for Christmas, for example. I remember growing up, it was a big event. The whole family would get together. People you never saw before would get together. They'd open presents and eat and just have a merry old time while the mirths of the tabrets were playing. But now, families just aren't getting together anymore. Everybody's doing their own thing. You'll have your parents or other family members say, oh, we're just staying by the house today and cooking something to eat. Stop by if you want. They shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drinketh. People aren't going to the clubs like they used to before, to the bars to drink and have a good time. They're going to drown away their sorrows. And if they're not going to the clubs or anything like that, they're staying at their house and getting drunk until they pass out. But now they're getting addicted to opioids and meth so they can tune out from reality because it's becoming too harsh. The outlook is looking bleak. Verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. And what does Babylon in Hebrew mean? Confusion. This is talking about that Babylon the Great, the United States of America. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. All the jobs are, all the businesses are beginning to shut down, and the jobs are being shipped overseas. The houses are being shut up, that no man may come in. The grinding is ceasing. Verse 11, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. There's no hope coming to Babylon the Great. We're in the last leg of its rulership. And it's a beautiful sight again to behold that you Edomites are starting to get a taste of your own medicine. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21 to 22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, you so-called white people, the red Hebrew Edomites, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. You got Jake caught up in the drug game in the past, especially during the crack epidemic. But now with the worms starting to turn for you Edomites, you're the ones that are getting addicted to drugs, such as opioids and meth, and getting caught up in the drug game. Verse 22, The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And what are some of the sins that the Most High is discovering of Esau, Edom? This is a video from RT America titled, CIA Funnels Drugs to Poor Americans, i.e. the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Gang violence has been a part of some Los Angeles neighborhoods for decades, but it wasn't until the 1980s that gang members saw their biggest money-making opportunity with crack cocaine. Little did they know that the CIA was using them as pawns in a larger scheme, allowing the more affordable drug to come into their neighborhood. Freeway Ricky Ross, one of America's biggest drug dealers, unwittingly became a main player in the Central American drug connection that sent millions of American dollars in drug money to Nicaragua. The CIA's plan was to promote and finance the Contra revolutionary group that was trying to depose the socialist Sandinista government in the Central American country.
Russia had gave the Sandinistas $100 million to fight with. Congress had cut off all the money from the Contras. So now the Sandinistas had an advantage.
President Ronald Reagan and then Vice President George H.W. Bush fretted over Soviet influence in Nicaragua.
They would be in our backyard. I believe that they felt it was more valuable to sacrifice a particular sector of America and a race of people in America in order to save the whole country.
Former LAPD detective and author Michael Rupert has written extensively about the government's involvement in drug trafficking around the world. He says politics isn't the only motive.
The control of the cash from the drug trade is of vital importance to Wall Street because drug profits are laundered onto corporations and banks' net profits.
But the CIA's policy of looking the other way wasn't just for the benefit of big business or crushing revolutionary movements abroad.
Did you hear what he just said? A lot of money to be made from the drug trade. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. Woe or destruction to him that buildeth a town with blood, building profits off of the backs of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans by flooding drugs into their neighborhoods and having Jake sell those drugs so they can get caught up in the prison system and be a part of the prison industrial complex to where they further make profits for Esau and establisheth a city by iniquity. Now, you can start to see a connection from this little insert right here. Officials say Mexican cartels are shipping more meth than ever into the country, mostly through ports of entry in hidden vehicle compartments, all by design to make those profits.
Domestically, drugs and drug lords were used to quell black activist movements that challenged the status quo. Iman Abdul Ali Musa was a major drug dealer in Oakland, California, where the revolutionary leftist Black Panther Party had its headquarters.
So the government wanted to stop the black movement in its tracks. So technically it used us, drug dealers. It gave us high quality heroin and cocaine to pump into our own neighborhood, and then we sold it to our people to break the back of the revolution.
The drug ravaged Oakland's poor community, just like Ricky Ross's drug empire ruined parts of LA. The worst of the crack epidemic may be in the past, and this community is trying to rebuild, but an ugly legacy remains. Now, this is the South Central neighborhood where Ricky Ross got started in his life of crime. Ross admits to his crimes, but he doesn't think he should have been the only one who was punished over the Contra cocaine connection. Many in his community agree, including gang expert Alex Alonso.
We just want to blame the black or Hispanic street dealer at the end of the day, and we want to ignore this totality of circumstances that really ends up causing drugs to be grown in Colombia and ending up on our front door here in the United States.
The government's effort resulted in a generation of young black men being sent to prison and caused many hardworking families to lose their homes. Many wonder whether Los Angeles
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establishing a city by iniquity.
Angeles is